Hi. Now it's Saturday night and it's still 99, feels like 99, but I think we're about to have a pop-up storm. So who is out walking their dog in a pop-up storm? Me. And why are y'all sitting and staring at me? Because I'm holding my phone up. Don't y'all know that I make videos? Don't you know who I am? Anyway. Y'all, we didn't even get halfway around the block. And I said, we need to go. We need to head back home because Mama smells rain. Yeah, Mama smells rain. Rain's a-coming. Do y'all ever smell rain? Yeah, I think I smell it. Either that or something died. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just getting an early start on tomorrow's video. And I just want to show y'all that it's about to storm. But that cool breeze, it's not cool. I take that back. But that breeze, y'all hear that breeze? That breeze sure does feel good out here walking. Cause when I first came outside, there was no breeze and it was still. Why is there a helicopter flying over? There it is. Anyway, it was real still out here. And I was like, well, this is gonna be a miserable walk. But I thought it would be okay because the sun's not out and the concrete's not super hot, you know? As we walked up the street, the wind picked up and I was like, ooh, well doesn't that feel lovely? However, I think that means it's about to rain. Yeah, look, eesh. All right, we're heading back home. I don't know if this is just one of those pop-up storms because it's hot or if this was just an expected storm because you know sometimes we have pop-up storms when it's this hot. I just hope we don't have thunder and lightning till I get home. The leaves on my magnolias are blowing backwards and it looks like it's all burnt up, but you're just seeing the other side. That don't matter, Tracy. They don't care about that. Well, maybe they do. I'm walking kind of fast, so I'm gonna hang up. Plus, there's people looking at me again. I don't know why they can't just realize that I make videos. Okay, I think that was a firework, not a thunder. I mean, do these people not know who I am? I make videos, okay? Gosh. All right, I'll be back. See the back side of the magnolia? Looks like it's all burned up. I mean, it's windy. See, it's the back side of the leaves. Because when you see it normally, it's green. Anyway, and it's raining. But I believe that I saw some hail. I'm hearing hail, actually. There's hail. It's hailing. Hailing. Is that the word? Hailing? It's hailing. It's spitting snow. It's ice. Icy snow. It's 99 degrees and it's ice snowing. Ice snowing. Is that right? Oh, is the storm over already? That's cool. That's nice. No, it's not over, really. I'm just kidding. That's fine. I was just hoping I could show you some of the hail. Hail! Oh, hail. But I think it's too hot and it's melting it too quickly. I don't know. I could be totally making this up, but... Good morning. Happy Sunday. We had a storm. Yes, we did. It didn't last long. Honestly, all that buildup and it sounded like hail and thunder and lightning and I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes later, gone. Sun was back out. What? I was reminded of my husky this morning. Did y'all know that I had a Siberian husky at one time? Yeah, my brother bought it for his then bride, and she didn't want the husky or him. They divorced. I think the husky was bought in an attempt to make her happy. That never works, you know? Anyway,
So I got him when he was about 5 months old, and I had him until I took him to be put down at 14 years old. But Lord have mercy, the things that that dog would get into. Oh my goodness. But what reminded me was Lester's video. He's rescued another dog, and this one, someone actually called him and said that the dog had shown up in her pasture, and she tried to take care of it, and she put it on a leash. It's a Great Pyrenees, and she put it on a leash, and the dog drug her. I mean, literally, she fell down. And Lester said, "Why didn't you turn loose of the leash?" And she said, "Well, I finally did, but," she said, "it all happened so fast." You know, she was trying to hang on. Anyway, the dog was very nervous. But the funny part of the story is when they took it to the vet, it would not, or she would not walk inside the vet's office. So Lester had to pick her up and carry her, which reminded me of my husky. So my husky was about 60 to 65 pounds at, full grown. And I bought him a harness specifically for the vet, because as soon as I opened the door, that dog sat down, that dog laid down, that dog, he just refused to walk. And I could pick him up at the time, I was much younger and stronger, and carry him in, but he got heavy quick, So I would put his harness on him, and I would literally, once we got in the door on those soft floors, slick floors, I would just drag him. I would just drag him, and he would just slide down the hall with me, and I'd get him in the room, and then I'd pick him up and put him on the bed. But one of the funniest things that happened at the vet's office was when he had some sort of, I guess, a UTI or something. That dog had a lot of medical issues in his 14 years. But, he didn't have a UTI. He was dripping, and he dripped, and he dripped, and he dripped. Well, anyway, so I take him to the vet, and the vet says that we need to get a sample. I didn't know what that meant. I thought they would catheter him, right? Stick a little catheter in, catch a little pee-pee. Oh, good. No, that is not what happened. She said, "Let's go out back." I had him on a harness and a leash, and I walked him, and she ran around with a ladle, a soup ladle, trying to catch that dog's pee. That was the funniest dadgum thing that I have ever been through, because every time he hiked his leg, she stuck that ladle up under him and was trying to catch that pee. And of course, he would have stage fright and he wouldn't pee. And then he would walk on a little further, and he would hike his leg, and she would stick that ladle up under there, and he would put his leg down. We looked like circus clowns running around in that back parking lot trying to catch pee from that dog. It was hilarious. I'll be back. Okay, I'm in charge of watering flowers this week while my neighbor's gone on vacation. And thankfully, she has a sprinkler system for all except what's right directly behind her house and on her porch. So I'm in charge. I love being in charge. Anyway, back to the husky. So he was, oh my gosh, he was a mess, y'all. He was an absolute mess. I mean, other than the fact the shedding was just unbelievable. He would lay outside. Now, he was an inside dog because, it's hot here. But he would lay outside, and birds would actually land on him and pull tufts of hair off of him and fly off with it. He didn't even notice. He had so much hair. So this one time I hired a groomer to come to the house, and she had a van. And I said, "Do you groom huskies?" And she said, "Yes, I can back blow them and get all of that undercoating off," because I would sit and brush him nonstop. As soon as it started getting warm. And I was like, okay, that's great. She gave me the price. We agreed on it. She came to the house. Y'all, when she was done with him, I paid her, and she said, "I will never do another husky again, ever. Don't call me." I said, "Was he bad?" She said, "No, he wasn't bad." She said, "I will never get all this hair out of this van." And I was like, well, it seems like you probably should have known that there would be a lot of hair. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a Siberian Husky. But anyway, he was gorgeous, and I think, you know, of course I'm a little biased, but I think he was probably the prettiest Husky, had the prettiest mask of any Husky I've ever seen. And I will put in pictures of him, but he was a sweet boy to me. He was very protective of me. And when we would walk around the neighborhood, if he saw somebody walking towards us, unlike Charlie and Penny, who just start barking like crazy. Are you coming in? Come on. Who start barking like crazy, he would cross the street and get on the other side of me so that he would be on the same side as them, and he would just give them the stare down while they were walking by. Yeah, he was very intimidating. And if anybody ever came in the house to do any type of work, he would stand and stare at them. He wouldn't bark, he wouldn't growl, he would just stare at them. And those blue eyes that he had, they're very intimidating. So one time, he was infamous for escaping the backyard, which most Huskies are. And he escaped one time, and he took off running across the street towards my friend Vicky and her dog, Ace, which was a Cocker Spaniel. And Vicky knew Ace and Ace and Zappa, his name was Zappa, named after Frank Zappa. He had a song, "Don't Eat the Yellow Snow Where the Huskies Go." Yeah, that was his name. Anyway, they didn't get along. Ace and Zappa did not get along. So she knew it was going to be bad. She had a glass of tea. She was sitting down working in her garden, you know, weeding it or planting or something. And when Zappa got right to her, she took that glass of tea and came down right on the top of his head. It broke the glass. She said he stopped and looked at her and kind of shook his head, and he turned around and went home. Yeah, I didn't even know he was out. I mean, he would just escape. You would have everything blocked and barred, and that dog would still somehow escape. But it didn't hurt him. He was fine. I mean, probably gave him a little bit of a headache, but she was apologizing, and I was like, you were protecting your dog. I'm not mad. I'm sorry he got out. I'm sorry it scared you, but I'm not mad at you because you got to do what you got to do to protect your baby. So it's fine. But this one night, I heard all this screaming. And when I say screaming, if you've never heard a husky scream, whoo, Lord, he was screaming and hollering and having a daggum fit. He was outside. And so I got up and went and opened the door, and he had a rabbit, a baby rabbit, trapped. And the rabbit was trying to get through the hole in the chain link fence, and Zappa was trying to get to the rabbit, right? Thankfully, he couldn't really get to it, but man, he was trying his best. So I didn't know what to do, so I called Vicky, again, who lived across the street. She's a registered nurse. I don't know why I thought that would help the situation, but that was just my first thought of who to call. So I called Vicky, and she comes running over with wire cutters, which now I'm thinking back, why didn't I think of that? But I was just in panic mode. And she clipped I put him in the house. I mean, I got him away from the rabbit as soon as I found out. But she clipped away the fence so the rabbit could be freed, and the rabbit was fine. But he brought a possum to the door. I was like, you dropped that possum. You were not bringing that possum in this house. No, sir. It was still alive. Yeah, but he was, oh my gosh, he would wear me out. And he could go for days walking. Huskies are bred for their speed in the Adirondack. Is that what it's called? Adirondack? No. Iditarod. I don't know. I feel like I'm making up words. Adirondack is a chair. Iditarod is the race in Alaska or Canada. I don't know. I feel like I'm in another country trying to speak here. Anyway, The Huskies are bred for speed, and the Malamutes are bred for more of, they're slower moving, but they're stronger. So anyway, his speed, oh yeah. I chased him all over the flippin' neighborhood. But this one time, me and Justin decided that we were going to put on skates. I put his harness on him, not on Justin, on Zappa. And we each had a leash, and we hung on to the leash, and he ran. And we were skating while he ran. He was pulling us. I mean, that's what they're bred to do. And something happened, and the lines got crossed, and me and Justin and Zappa all collided. Everybody was fine. I got a scraped up knee, but I was like, okay, we won't try that anymore, because he ran a whole lot faster than we wanted to skate, and we all crashed. So anyway, but I loved him. I did. I loved that dog, but he was a lot of work. I don't recommend a Husky if you're not up for the energy and the energy and the energy, because you're going to need energy to keep up with him, and you're going to need energy to keep your house clean, because the amount of hair that comes off those dogs is unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Can I just say that a lot has happened since the earlier videoing? I planted my eggplant, my elephant ears, and my lily, and I was drenched. And I know that's gross, but I was just absolutely drenched in the few minutes, probably 20 minutes, that it took me to dig those holes and pull the weeds and plant and all the things. Yeah, drenched. Awful. And then I also did something else. And if you were paying attention, you would have seen it in this video. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to see if you noticed. It's like a test. One more Zappa story, and then I'll let that be the end of this video. When my friend Mitzi would call, really anybody, but mostly it was Mitzi, because she would call me every day on her way home from work. And Zappa, as soon as I answered the phone, he would start. And Mitzi would say, hey, Zappa. And Zappa would start. And that dog hollered the entire time we were on the phone. Didn't he, honey? You weren't even a gleam in your daddy's eye back then, but yeah. Anyway, she's very sleepy, and she's very happy I'm seated right now, because I've not been seated much today. But I have a whole mental list of things that I want to get done on my days off. And yeah, I'm just seating. Yeah, sure. I'm sitting to recharge for a moment, and then I'm going to go back and get back to work. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember that I love you. Penny loves you. Gracie might love you sometimes, occasionally. And Jesus loves you. And I don't know if I already said that. And I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, okay? And you hang up first, okay? No, I'll hang up first. You say bye first, and I'll hang up first. Okay, bye. Did you hang up? Did you say bye? Okay, bye.